Coming up on the KCRG TV9 News at 6, stepping towards safety. A man finds a way to help others and honor his wife who was killed in a running accident. And new details, the Iowa State Patrol has released the names of 4 people killed in a Tama County crash. Plus, it's almost football season, but the University of Iowa is not scoring big with ticket sales. We'll show you what it's doing about it.
Live in high definition from your 24-hour news source. You're watching KCRG TV9 News at 6.
A Wellman man is trying to make his community safer for runners and walkers. This comes nearly 2 months after an accident. Jeff Wetstein's wife, Kathy, died 3 weeks after a car hit her while she was running in mid-June. Wetstein was training for the Quad Cities Marathon shortly after 5 a.m. on June 17th when the car hit her. It happened on County Road W38 just north of Highway 22. She died in early July. KCRG TV9's Brady Smith spoke with her husband, who is working to create something in her memory.
Jeff Wetstein says his wife was never content to run the same path over and over.
Kathy liked to change things up quite a bit.
In the weeks following her death, he knew a simple cemetery plot wouldn't be the proper way to remember Kathy.
So this would be the beginning of the trail, and it could run down to the corner, and that would create a loop of about 1.25 miles.
He wants to build a paved or asphalt path around the perimeter of Wellman's Community Park as a tribute to his wife and a safe place for the people of Wellman to exercise. And he wants it to somehow link up safely to the city's lower elevation to keep people from walking along this road where Kathy was hit.
You want to be able to just kind of zone out and just feel good, you know. You want to focus on running. You don't want to worry about cars running over you.
Jeff has raised some money, about $16,000, but he's still working on getting a better idea of the project's scope. Once he has a better idea of total cost, he'll push harder for more funding. He says city leaders have already offered their support, but he also wants to include the people who would be using it. People like his wife.
We really need to involve the runners and walkers in Wellman.
In Wellman, Brady Smith, KCRG TV9 News.
Now, if you'd like to donate to Wetstein's Trail Project, he has a GoFundMe page. We've put links to that and his Facebook page with this story on our website at kcrg.com. Well, Waterloo police continue investigating a shooting that left 1 man dead. Police arrested 37-year-old Steve Fordyce Jr. on a first-degree murder charge in the case. Witnesses say the shooting took place during a confrontation between the victim and Fordyce. It happened at about 7:30 Friday night at a home in the 100 block of Locust Street. Witnesses tell TV9 someone shot the victim several times. Emergency crews took the victim to a hospital where he died. No one else was hurt in last night's shooting. Police have not identified the victim. We now know the names of 4 people killed in a Tama County crash. A car and semi collided at the intersection of Highway 21 and Highway 30 at around 5 o'clock last night. The Iowa State Patrol says 68-year-old William Willis was crossing Highway 30 when the semi broadsided his vehicle. The semi jackknifed onto the shoulder of Highway 30. Willis and his 3 passengers, Linda Willis and George and Dolores Eggers, were all pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the semi was not hurt. The Iowa State Patrol is investigating. Turning now to weather, KCRG TV9's First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Chris Havley joins us. And Chris, it's been a beautiful day so far.
It really has, Jill. We've seen some warm temperatures today, but nothing out of the ordinary for a Saturday in mid-August. A current look at our Washington City cam, where there's lots of blue sky out there. A few patchy fair weather clouds out there, but that's all we had to look at the skies today. Temperatures right now, 83 in Cedar Rapids, 86 Iowa City, Waterloo at 85, Dubuque at 84, and Washington 86. Dew points right now in the upper 60s to right around 70, so it is definitely sticky out there. We'll take a quick check on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler radar, and we're looking good out there. Some showers and a few thunderstorms in south central Wisconsin, but those are not going to be coming our way, so a dry night in store for us. In fact, here's your planner. Clear skies, temperatures dropping to the mid and upper 60s. More sunshine, more heat and humidity for tomorrow, but rain chances are returning to eastern Iowa, which we'll talk about coming up in a few minutes. Back to you, Jill.
All right, thanks a lot, Chris. Well, the first Hawkeye football kickoff happens in just 21 days on September 5th, but right now ticket sales are down 16% from this time last year. University officials say poor performance on the field in 2014 is a big reason many season ticket holders are not renewing tickets this year. That's why the university is introducing several new promotions and discounts for fans. The athletics department says the downturn in sales is a national trend and something they've planned for.
We knew season ticket sales were going to be down a little, and they are, but we also ramped up our single game efforts, our group sales efforts, and we think between all those efforts and admittedly some success on the playing field early that we should be able to rebound and meet our goals.
In all, the university expects anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 fewer season tickets to be sold this year compared to last. Tonight at 10, we'll look at some of the new promotions and discounts available right now. Reenactors from across the Midwest are remembering the greatest generation this weekend. World War II Remembered showcases uniforms, artifacts, and vehicles from the war. Uniform presentations and weapon demonstrations are taking place at Seminole Valley Farm in Cedar Rapids. Visitors can talk to reenactors representing soldiers from the United States, USSR, Great Britain, and Germany.
It's a living history. A lot of reenactors from around the area have come together to show collections, vehicles, items related to the Second World War. And of course, our primary thing is to honor the Second World War veterans.
The event is free with a request of donations. Half of all the donations will go to the Eastern Iowa Honor Flight. If you missed it today, it's happening tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Well, a group of Mount Mercy students will soon be regulars at the Cedar Rapids Downtown Farmers Market. Students with the Enactus program are partnering with vendors to provide sales, marketing, and business feedback. The students are pairing with a community leader and one of 11 market vendors with the goal of improving their business. They'll also ask for customers' feedback on their shopping experience. The partnership will continue until the end of the farmers market season in Cedar Rapids. Well, petitioners canvassed the farmers market this morning, gathering signatures for the annual library levy. Members of the Our Library, Our Community team need more than 2,000 signatures to include the library levy on the November 3rd ballot. The levy would ask for 27 cents per $1,000 of assessed property value. The group says the approved levy would ensure ongoing library access to the community. TV9's Brady Smith will have more on this story on the KCRG TV9 News on Sunday at 5:30. Well, still to come on the news at 6, the Iowa State Fair isn't just about food on a stick. It has turned into a political hotspot. Candidates on both sides of the aisle are visiting the fair to woo voters. And young Hawkeye fans enjoyed Kids Day at Kinnick Stadium. Stay right here with KCRG TV9.
Live, on air, and online from your 24-hour news source, Chris Earl, meteorologist Chris Havley, and Josh Christensen Sports. This is KCRG TV9 News at 6.
The Iowa State Fair is a beacon for a variety of fried foods, 4-H participants, and presidential candidates. Democrat Hillary Clinton made her case today with voters at the fair. The former Secretary of State couldn't escape questions about whether she received classified information on her private email server. Clinton agreed to turn that server over to investigators. She says the single server was only for convenience.
But the facts are the same as they have been from the very beginning of these questions being raised. And most importantly, I never sent classified material on my email, and I never received any that was marked classified.
The Intelligence Community's Inspector General says at least 5 emails on Clinton's server contained classified information. Donald Trump tried to appeal to a younger demographic during his state fair stop. The Republican candidate offered rides in his private helicopter to kids at the fair. Trump says Hillary Clinton's email controversy may cast a negative shadow over her campaign.
She's got a lot of problems with the email situation. That's a big problem. I mean, if you look at General Petraeus, he had just a tiny fraction of what she's got going, and they destroyed his life virtually. So I think she's got some very big problems.
The businessman also talked about U.S. defense policy, saying the U.S. needs to have the strongest military in the world. Other candidates on the State Fair soapbox today include Democrat Bernie Sanders. So many people stopped to listen to him that the throng nearly shut down the main walkway through the fair. In contrast, only about 80 people heard Democrat Lincoln Chafee speak. Chafee is polling in the low single digits in the five-way race for the Democratic nomination. And Republican Rick Santorum used Planned Parenthood and abortion to illustrate his belief that conservatives do not have to accept a U.S. Supreme Court decision. And speaking of the fair, it's perfect State Fair weather this weekend. Chris, will that continue?
That's right, Jill. Nothing like 90 degrees for the State Fair. It doesn't feel too bad out there. Right now, it does feel like the low 90s with the heat index values on Pinpoint, StormNet, and Cedar Rapids. Coming up next, we'll talk about a warm, muggy Sunday as well as our next rain chances. That's all coming up next.
Now, the First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Chris Havley.
Looking at the outdoor plans here this afternoon or this evening, not too bad out there. Feels like a typical Saturday for mid-August. Right now, the 80s across the board here, 83 in Cedar Rapids, a little warmer at Iowa City, 86, 85 in Waterloo, and quite warm up there towards Prairie du Chien. One of the reasons for that may be the dry soil, because the rainfall deficits since June 1st are running about 2 to 5 inches below average as you get to the northeastern parts of Iowa and into parts of southwestern Wisconsin. Still running below average, but not as bad as you go towards central parts of eastern Iowa. But it's quite the difference. Moving down south towards Washington, areas of south central Iowa, anywhere between 3 to 12 inches above the average since June 1st. So quite the spread, and that's why we're likely seeing a little bit warmer temperatures up there, as drier soils tend to help warm up the atmosphere a little bit quicker without that moisture in the soil. As far as the drought monitor, you can see parts of southwestern Wisconsin already in that moderate drought, and some of the abnormally dry conditions as far as the drought conditions into parts of northeastern Iowa. And we're not looking at some significant chances of rain today or tomorrow, but there are some chances just around the corner. Area of high pressure, which has been in control of our weather pattern here all the way through the last week, it's going to start sliding off toward the east. As it does, we're going to see a cold front moving from the northwest, and as it does, it'll start to give us the chance for some showers and storms. At first, not very significant chances, but there will be enough out there to give some of those very, very dry areas a nice drink of some water out there. Here's Pinpoint Futurecast rest of our night tonight, and a pretty quiet map out there. We did see a couple of scattered showers and storms over south central Wisconsin today, but we're not going to see any of that across eastern Iowa here tonight. We'll see clear skies, allowing temperatures to drop into the upper 60s, but thanks to those dew points still up there in the near 70-degree range in upper 60s, not going to get that cool tonight, and it's going to feel quite muggy as well. But looking up toward the north and west, there's that system that's going to be trying to spark off some showers and thunderstorms. We'll first start to see a little more cloud cover coming up later tomorrow night. But before that, we're going to see a sunny Sunday and a very warm and muggy Sunday coming up as well. Here's your forecast for lows tonight: 67 Waterloo and Cedar Rapids, 68 in Dubuque and Iowa City. We'll see mostly clear skies, winds out of the south at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Forecasted highs for tomorrow: it's going to be warm and muggy. 89 for Waterloo, 89 Cedar Rapids, 87 for Charles City. Iowa City right there in the upper 80s, and Washington maybe hitting that 90-degree mark tomorrow afternoon. Winds will be out of the southwest at around 5 to 15 miles per hour. Lots of sunshine out there, and rain chances will stay away. As far as how muggy it's going to feel, muggy meter all the way around above 70-degree dew points. So that's going to be pretty oppressive out there. One of the dog days of summer, you could say, coming up for our Sunday afternoon. The next couple of days, we do have some chances for some showers and storms coming up late Monday. They're going to be pretty small chances. Better chances going into Monday night and into Tuesday, calling for some chances for rain on Tuesday as well. As we get into Wednesday, we'll see some storms possible in the early morning hours. Then after that, some dry weather takes hold again. High temperatures will be a little bit cooler, a little more comfortable, I could say, for Wednesday and Thursday, with highs in the upper 70s. Lows will be in the upper 50s to right around 60. And then for next weekend coming up, temperatures right there in the mid 80s again, with more storms possible late Saturday. So we do need some rainfall in northeastern Iowa, and I don't think we're going to see any here for today or tomorrow, but there are some chances coming up in the first part of the work week ahead.
I was going to say, it's interesting to see the difference between the two parts of the state, north and south.
Yeah, it's kind of neat to see that map, because precipitation can vary quite a bit spatially. So crossing our fingers for some rain up there in northeastern Iowa.
All right, thank you so much, Chris. Well, it's warm, not really feeling like football season, but I know you have some football things going on today, right?
Yeah, it's getting close. Still feels like baseball weather outside, but football's just around the corner here a little bit. Next in sports, Scott Sable. He's got highlights and reaction from Kids Day at Kinnick, where the Iowa offense had its fair share of struggles. Keep it here on your 24-hour news source, KCRG TV9.
KCRG TV9 Sports with Scott Westerberg.
Well, it was a mix of practice and scrimmage today at Kinnick, and it gave the fans a rare chance to watch the Hawkeyes before the season opener on September 5th. Scott Sable has more from Kids Day.
It was a good day for fans to get some autographs and watch some hitting. And the defense was doing most of the hitting today. They batted down a lot of passes, and Nate Meyer and Drew Ott dominated on the edges.
Just trying to get better every day, and the coaches has really taught me a lot. So more comfortable, as if you progress every day.
There's always a time where we get ours and they get theirs. So today the defense pretty much won the day, I would say. But we'll be back at them on Monday.
When he did have time to throw, C.J. Beathard, who says he's only thrown one pick all camp, looked sharp and connected with George Kittle on some big hitters over the middle. With Doozy out, look for Kittle to provide some big plays early.
He's made a lot of strides over the years, and this year I feel like he's stepped up a lot, and he can stretch the field at tight end. He's fast, athletic, and he's a big kid.
I've thrown one interception all camp so far, and I think that's one thing Coach Davis keeps talking to his quarterbacks about is when you limit the turnovers, you give yourselves a chance to win the game. Whether you're getting shut up. 3 and outs. As long as you're not turning the ball over, you give yourselves a chance to win the game.
The Hawks' two top backs, LaShawn Daniels and Jordan Canzeri, didn't see much action in the scrimmage. Derek Mitchell Jr. received a lot of work and made some big strides.
I think Derek Mitchell's gaining ground right now. This is a real important day for him because he still has to learn a little bit about getting the pads, going that way, north and south a little bit more. But that's how you learn. But he's working hard and gaining ground.
Coach Ferentz says the offense has had much better days in camp, and he has seen some improvement from his offensive line. The Hawks' next scrimmage is set for this Friday under the lights. From Kinnick Stadium, Scott Sable, TV9 Sports.
Thanks, Scott. The season opener is just 3 weeks away from today, and it's against Illinois State. One-time Hawkeye and former Morningside All-American Brandon Weegar caught a 42-yard touchdown last night as the Panthers beat the Bills 25-24. Weegar's only catch of the game. He also carried the ball 4 times for 15 yards. Well, no Zach and no Tiger this weekend at the PGA Championship. Both guys just missed out on reaching the 2-over cut line, probably already on a flight home late last night. Zach's playing partners were the first 2 rounds were Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth. They both made the cut. Spieth very much in the hunt. He's for his 3rd major this season. 2 Whistling Straits where they had to finish up some around 2 this morning. Rory McIlroy ended up his 3rd round nicely with a birdie on 18. He probably won't repeat as champion, but Rory's still having a great tournament at 6 under. Spieth here finishing up his front 9 with a great chip just off the green. That settles near the cup. That helps Jordan save par, and he's currently still in the mix there. Brandon Grace on the par 4 13th. He drops this one in for birdie, and that would move Grace to 10 under par. Jason Day's been in the mix a lot this year in majors, and he is again today, 2nd through 2 rounds. And here on number 5, he plays this shot beautifully. Day would birdie that hole to go to 10 under. Australian Matt Jones led after 2 rounds and adds to that lead here with the par 4-6 with a birdie. That moves him to 13 under par. Here's a look at the leaderboard right now. Still some golf. A lot of guys out on the course and a cluster of people. Day leading by 1 shot over Jones. Day at 14 under. Brandon Grace at 12 under par. So 3 guys right there all have a chance to win the cup tomorrow. Xfinity Series race at Mid-Ohio Road Course. Green flag was out with 7 to go, but it didn't last long as 3 cars get tangled up. That brings out the caution. It would be a green-white checkered finish. Ty Dillon swipes 3rd from Chris Buescher on the restart. Buescher gets Dillon back with a little love tap on the rear bumper. To the final lap, Alex Tagliani leading, and as he did most of the race, but on the 2nd to last corner, Regan Smith nudges Tagliani and bumps him to the outside, snatches his last-second victory. Smith's first win in 52 races. Landon Castle ended up 18th, and Joey Gase was 26th. Tanner English, the reigning Midwest League Player of the Week, was put on the disabled list today with a sprained left thumb. English is hitting .265 with 5 homers and 36 ribbies this season. He leads the Colonels in doubles and stolen bases. The Colonels are on the road tonight in Fort Wayne. They'll be back at home on Tuesday.
All right, thank you so much, Scott. We'll be right back with a final check of your forecast. Stay with TV9. Welcome back now to Storm Team meteorologist Chris Havley. We are taking in the summer right now.
We are. It's very mild and muggy out there here tonight, so get ready to sweat maybe a little bit if you have some outdoor plans. Temperatures dropping only into the upper 60s overnight. We'll warm up quickly for tomorrow, though. Lots of sunshine, back up to 87 by 3 o'clock. We're going to top out in those upper 80s. We do need rainfall out there across eastern Iowa, and rainfall potential over the next 5 days. There is some in the state, but most of it's going to be back to the north and west. We'll still cross our fingers that we can get even some, at least a half an inch for those areas in northeastern Iowa that are in desperate need of some rainfall. In the extended forecast, you see the high temperatures will be taking a little bit of a dive, though, so some relief from the heat. And we do have some chances for some showers and storms coming up late Monday into Tuesday and also into Wednesday morning. Then some more dry weather with temperatures dropping into the upper 70s for highs. So this is going to be the warmest day of the week coming up for tomorrow. Then some much more seasonal temperatures with some much needed chances for rain heading our way.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris. And thank you for joining us for the news at 6. Be sure to tune in again at 10. Until then, have a great night.